everyone. I'm doing alive again, I'm doing alive again. I'm really loving this little setup that I've got going on because I've got a big old ring light up here, got my phone in my little tripod, surrounded by loads of books, really loud floral wallpaper, and a gin and tonic. Kind of perfect. So, I'm just going to wait for a little bit for people to come and join, although 500 people are already here, so crazy. If you go off the live stream, I know that's not very, I'm not really promoting the live by telling you to go off the live stream, but if you go off the live stream and go back to my story and ask me a question there, I'm going to be using the sticker function, feature, thing, much more in this live stream than the last one. So I think I've figured it out. And if you ask me questions on that, I can then do this. Gonna pick a question at random. What are you passionate about right now? What I'm passionate about right now is interior design because of the new house, books, because I'm writing one and I'm reading The Coincidence Authority by John Ironmonger, which I am enjoying very, very much, and gin, because I love gin, really like gin. I was watching Helen Anderson's video the other day about when she did like an assumptions tag, and click off that, there we go. She did an assumptions tag on YouTube via the medium of Instagram, and someone asked her, or someone assumed something about drinks that she likes, and she was like, oh, I like gin and Prosecco because I'm a basic bitch. And I was like, I like gin and Prosecco, does that make me a basic bitch? I was like, is that what that means? I didn't know that. Gin and Prosecco are like, not together, but gin and Prosecco are like my go-tos. So apparently I'm a basic bitch. And I'm fine with that if that's the case. I'm going to answer another question. Oh, that's really satisfying. We were just at 1111. Really enjoy that. What is the craziest... I'm literally just picking a question at random. What is the craziest aspect of your life right now? Someone asked me the other day, they were like, why do creative people always say they're working on secret projects even though they're not allowed to say what they are and know that it annoys your audience? And it's because when anyone has a secret that they know at some point they're gonna be able to reveal it, so it's not a bad secret, like, I don't know, it's not like gossip, it's not like a bad secret, it's like a good secret that they know they're going to be able to tell people at some point, and it's like a higher authority telling them that they have to keep it secret. But sometimes the higher authority is like a producer or a director, and they're like, go on, just drop a hint, just say that you're working on something to reduce your pent-up excitement, and also to build a buzz, to get other people excited about it. So that's the reason why creatives are like, I'm working on a secret project, but I'll tell you about it soon. It's the like build excitement within an audience, as annoying as it is. But you've got to understand that it's annoying. It's just as annoying for the creative who's like, I'm desperate to tell you, but I'm being told by someone else that I can't tell you, but just know that something's coming and it's going to be really good. So the craziest aspect of my life right now is I have a really big secret. I've got a really big secret. Oh my God. And I'm so desperate to tell people, but I'm not allowed. And it's like not officially official yet because I haven't signed on the dotted line, but oh my God, when it's official and I finally get to tell you, it's going to be amazing. I feel like I'm saying too much, so I'm going to shut up, I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to start with, oh my God, I did something. And for that person asking, no, I'm not Elphaba. I'm also not the narrator in Joseph. Everyone's trying to be like, I know you're the narrator. And I'm like, if I am, I don't even know. Like, come on. And I know you're going to be the narrator in Joseph. And I'm like, if I am, I genuinely don't know about it. If I've been cast as the narrator in Joseph, I did an audition, so it's a miracle. And I also don't know about it, so no. Okay. Guys, I've not auditioned for Frozen, so if I have been cast in that, great, someone let me know. No, I'm not in Frozen. Not in Frozen. Stop guessing, because you're never going to get it. Trust me. Trust me now when I say you are never going to get it. Hashtag just saying. No, Waitress has already started. How could I possibly be in Waitress when I'm not in the rehearsals? I'm not in Waitress. Stop guessing, because I promise you, you are never going to get it. I promise you, you are never going to get it. So, and even if you did get it, I'm not going to tell you because I'm not allowed. So, okay, I'm going to start. Books. This is a book-themed live stream. What's Ollie banging around about downstairs? Ollie's playing Fortnite downstairs, so this is why I'm taking this opportunity to do a live stream. Okay, the first book is called The Young World. Some of these books in this box I've never seen in my life, probably because I received them and then put them on a shelf. And it was like the shelf downstairs. Whoa, this one's by a guy called Chris White, who is an Oscar-nominated writer and director. Oh my god, he directed New Moon, and The Golden Compass, and About a Boy. Why have I never read this? Welcome to New York, a city ruled by teens. After a mysterious sickness wipes out the rest of the population, the young survivors assemble into tightly run tribes. Jefferson, the reluctant leader of the Washington Square tribe, and Donna, the girl he's secretly in love with, have carved out a precarious existence within the chaos. But when a fellow tribe member discovers a clue that may hold the cure for the sickness, 5 teens set out on a life-altering road trip, exchanging gunfire with enemy gangs, escaping cults and militias, and braving the wilds of the subway, all in order to save humankind. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. Why have I never read this? Chris White wrote this, and he's also the director of Twilight New Moon, as in the Twilight Saga, New Moon, A Better Life, About a Boy, The Golden Compass, and American Pie. I mean, I feel like I've been missing out there. Next one, Paper Towns, John Green. Not going to talk too much about this one because everyone knows this book, but I really, really loved this book. Yeah, really love this book. Quentin Jacobson has always loved Margot from afar, so when she climbs through his window to summon him on an all-night road trip of revenge, he cannot help but follow. But the next morning, Q turns up at school and Margot doesn't. She's left clues to her disappearance, like a trail of breadcrumbs for Q to follow, and everything leads to one unavoidable question: who is the real Margot? Really great book. Really good film as well. I really enjoyed the movie of that. Next, we have Just a Girl Standing in Front of a Boy by Lucy Ann Holmes. I haven't read this one, but I reckon I would love this one because I love a good rom-com. I mean, that's a film term, but essentially rom-com book. You know what I mean? After a rocky start in life, Jenny Taylor, 27, star receptionist at the local doctor's surgery, has things all worked out thanks to a list of 10 things she must do every day to keep the blues at bay. But her life is turned upside down when she meets aspiring musician Joe King and reliable boyfriend Matt proposes. And then her mum leaves her dad and moves into Jenny's flat, determined to bond. Hilarious, honest and heartbreaking, Just a Girl Standing in Front of a Boy is an edgy modern love story that will make you look at your own love story in a whole new way. Sounds good. I mean, Joe King is a great name. Sounds great. I feel like I'm just sort of discovering loads of books that I regret that I've not read sooner. Let's go for a question. Scott Page has just sent me a voice message, which I'm not going to listen to now because knowing him will be pure filth. Are you a fan of Harry Potter? This is a very basic question, but I do like it. Are you a fan of Harry Potter? Yes, I am. Massive fan. And what house are you in if you are? I'm a Gryffindor. I'm also a Thunderbird, which is the Ilvermorny house. And my Patronus is a bat. Let's go for... Oh, whoops. I just did something. Let's get rid of that question. Go away. Oh my god, I'm doing things badly. Oh my god, you guys are asking some like really difficult questions. With writing, do you like silence or chatter/music to get you through? I can't listen to music with lyrics because I then end up writing the lyrics and I can't deal with that. That's too much. So I usually like to listen to like big band music, but like, well, I said big band, but like that jazzy sort of 30s, 40s type Glenn Miller kind of music with no lyrics. Or I know this sounds really wanky, but can't speak, but I can't, oh my god. But I like listening to rain and thunder just because it's like white noise. So it's like something to keep that part of my brain busy. But there are no lyrics, so don't end up writing them into my books because that would be disastrous and my editor would not be happy. So yeah, I like sort of rain sounds. I know that makes me sound like really hipster, like, yeah, I like listening to whale music whilst I'm sipping my coffee from the Himalayas and smoking my cigar that's made out of weasel feces. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that made me sound very hipster. I didn't mean it to, but gotta be truthful, guys. Gotta be truthful. The next one is someone I have read. This is The Library of Unrequited Love by Sophie Divry. I don't know how else you would pronounce that, so I'm assuming it's Divry. This is a really interesting book because it's one side of a conversation. It's about someone who gets locked in a library overnight, and I'm just going to read you the blurb. There's no point in me explaining this. One morning, a librarian finds a reader who has been locked in overnight. She begins to talk to him, a one-way conversation full of sharp insight and quiet outrage. As she rails against snobbish senior colleagues, an ungrateful and ignorant public, the strictures of the Dewey Decimal System, and the sinister expansionist conspiracies of the books themselves, two things shine through: her unrequited passion for a researcher named Martin and an ardent and absolute love for the arts. It's really good. It's really interesting because it's a one-way conversation, so you only get one side of dialogue, but it's written like prose. It's really good. And it's very short as well, so I highly recommend that if you would like a quick read. Next we have The Summer Queen by Elizabeth Chadwick. I have not read this. I seem to remember being given this at Stage Door. Eleanor of Aquitaine's story is legendary. She is an icon who has fascinated readers for over 800 years, but the real Eleanor remains elusive until now. Based on the most up-to-date research, best-selling novelist Elizabeth Chadwick brings Eleanor's magnificent story to life, as never before. Young, vibrant, privileged Eleanor's future is golden as the heiress to wealthy Aquitaine. But when her beloved father dies suddenly in the summer of 1137, her childhood ends abruptly. Forced to marry the young Prince Louis of France, Eleanor is still struggling to adjust to her new role when Louis's father dies and they become King and Queen of France. Leaving everything behind, the vivacious Eleanor must face the complex and faction-riddled French court. She is only 13. That's a part of history that I don't actually know all that much about. So, whilst it's a novel, I feel like I would learn a huge amount. This is quite a chunky book, so definitely not a quick read like The Librarian of Unrequited Love. But there are page numbers. It's about 500 pages, maybe a bit less, 470. So it's not a huge read, but it's still quite substantial. And if you like historical fiction, this is the one for you. This one was the one that I just picked up a second ago, and it's Strangers on a Train by Patricia Highsmith. And I feel like I went to see the play of this, but I don't remember it at all. But I feel like I picked this up because I went to go and see the show, but then I don't remember the show. So am I just making up memories? Or I don't know. The psychologists would call it folie à deux. Hope I'm saying that right. Or folie à deux. Bruno slammed his palms together. Hey, cheeses, what an idea. We murder for each other, see? I kill your wife and you kill my father. We meet on a train, see? And nobody knows we know each other. Perfect alibis. Catch? From this moment, almost against his conscious will, Guy Haynes is trapped in a nightmare of shared guilt and an insidious merging of personalities. Oh, this is also by the person who wrote The Talented Mr. Ripley, which is a story I love. Strangers on a Train. I'm sure I watched that play, but if I did, I don't remember it, which is terrible. Lettuce and Victoria. Again, a book I've never read and don't remember seeing. Oh, this is one I was sent. And because I'm a terrible person, I didn't read it. This was sent to me by Arcadia Books. It was released on 15th of December 2013, although this isn't a proof copy, this is a proper hardback. So Lettuce and Victoria. This mischievous Roman clef, lots of French in these books, revolves around the interactions of 5 main characters. Victoria, barely 20, finds herself acting, don't know what that means, acting as amanuensis to Lawrence, an elderly man of letters, now blind, who lives in a ravishing house by the sea in northern Italy. Soon after her arrival, she indulges in a heady night of passion with Edgar, a youthful Englishman. Their subsequent union introduces Edgar's pretentious mother, Lettuce, who is jealous and suspicious of her daughter-in-law's prettiness and her ability to amuse Lettuce's intellectual friends. While Victoria struggles to adapt to her new surroundings, oh my god, am I losing the ability to speak? Lettuce, in a bid to maintain her own social superiority, attempts to thwart her every move in hilarious fashion. Enter Archie, one of the inner circle whose relationship with Victoria provokes a scandal that threatens to destroy her. Darkly funny and deeply insightful, Lettuce and Victoria is not just a love story with a fanciful and flawed female protagonist, but a wonderful portrait of English society. Sounds like a hoot. Okay, let's answer a question. Oh my god, can't. My fingers are too fat for this. Okay. As a Dutchie, I want to know how you ended up in a TV show about a Dutch queen as a kid. I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. I was in I think it was a film called Wilhelmina, in which I played Princess Beatrix, I can't remember, I was so young, I think I was about 5 or 6, and it was just, oh, did you hear my hip click then, my god, it was just a job, it was like one of those jobs that I just got sent for, and yeah, ended up playing Princess Beatrix, I want to say Beatrix, I could be wrong. I had one line. All I had to say was Oma, which I think is grandma in Dutch, I'm guessing. I say I'm guessing because I barely remember it. I kind of vaguely remember being in the costume. I have a picture of that somewhere that I will try and find for you and put on the Instagram story at some point. Yeah, I mean, it was just a job that I've went for and got. Hey, Matt Willis is watching. That's a nice surprise. This is a very book-themed live stream, so if you're interested to find any book recommendations, Matt, keep watching. But I'm also just answering questions as I go. Lots of history in this. This is The Historian. Oh my goodness me, lots of letters have just fallen out. Clearly I was given this, oh my god, by a fan. These are unopened. Oh no, they're not unopened. They're not, no. Oh, no, they are unopened. This is from Ellie Cook, who has supplied me with many a book over the years, including books by my favourite author, which is Andrew Kaufman. I am ever so sorry that I have not replied to this. They were in the book and I must have just not realised they were there. So sorry, Ellie. This was a Christmas present from Ellie. So thank you so much. Very kind of you. Apologies that I've only just found these. This is The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. Late one night, exploring her father's library, a young woman finds an ancient book and a cache of yellowing letters addressed ominously to my dear and unfortunate successor. Her discovery plunges into a world she never dreamed of, a labyrinth where the secrets of her father's past and her mother's mysterious fate connect to an evil hidden of the depths of history. That sounds insane. I love the sound of that. I also think this is a very famous book because I've definitely seen this cover a million times before. So I think this book blew up. If it didn't, oh yeah, an international bestseller. It literally says it on the cover, Fletcher. Let me know if you've read that because that definitely sounds right up my street. But it's definitely a commitment because it's about 700 pages. So, yes. The Engagements. This is one I bought and didn't read by J. Courtney Sullivan. It says, Forever is not for everyone. 1947, Mary Frances Goretti, a young copywriter in an eminent advertising agency, has to convince the world of two things: that marriage means a diamond ring on every woman's finger, and that she is as good at her job as any man. And then, in one moment of inspiration, Mary Frances writes down 4 words which will achieve both her aims. That sounds great. Engagements is a novel about love, marriage, commitment, and betrayal. It is as sharp, brilliant, and multifaceted as the stone we have taken to represent our dreams. That sounds so up my street, it's unreal. The Engagements by J. Courtney Sullivan. That's one I might keep out because I definitely really like the sound of that. Okay, like that a lot. Be Awesome by Hadley Freeman. This is Modern Life for Modern Ladies. Again, one I bought and never read because I buy 5 books to every one I read. All women need to listen to Hadley. She might just have the answers to life's trickiest questions. Why does the funny girl in the film never get the guy? Can you read a woman's magazine without damaging your brain? And should you buy Hello Kitty knickers? Of course you shouldn't. Why are you even asking that? With sage advice, some very helpful lists, and a killer dance routine to Patrick Swayze's She's Like the Wind, Hadley is here to show you just how awesome life as a modern lady can be. Sorry, my reading's getting terrible. I remember reading this at a point where I was really into like self-help books, and I think I bought this along with It's Called a Breakup Because It's Broken, which is one of my all-time favourite non-fiction books. So, Be Awesome. This sounds like a really good book. So, check it out. I'm going to answer another question. Let's see what's going on. Oh, good questions here. How nervous were you when you performed your very first show in the West End? My very first show in the West End, I was very young. I was 7, don't remember it at all. But then again, my first show as an adult in the West End was Les Mis as Eponine. And again, it went by in such a blur that I don't really remember it. I was so nervous and so petrified that I don't remember it. I do remember the beginning starting in the bum bum dum da da bum ba da dum da da. I remember that, and I remember just going, oh my god, I'm in Les Mis. I can't. Oh my god, and just having a little like freak out in the wings, thinking this is actually happening. I'm actually here. I'm not dreaming this, even though I've dreamt about this for about 12 years. This is actually happening right now. This is real life, and it's happening to me. Can't believe it. But then the actual show I just don't remember at all because I think I was just so nervous. But then I eventually did 959 shows. 959? Yeah, 959 shows in total at Les Mis. So I remember lots of them. I just don't remember the first. One more question and then I'll go back to thingy. One more show as Wednesday or Eponine. I'm gonna have to say Wednesday because I feel like I did, like I said, I did 959 shows of Eponine, whereas I only did 226 of Wednesday. Still a lot, but nowhere near as much as Eponine. So I feel like if I was gonna go back and do one more show, I'd do it as Eponine. I'd do it as Wednesday, sorry. Completely just contradicted myself because I forgot what I was saying. I would definitely go back and do one more show as Wednesday because I didn't do nearly as many as Wednesday as I did as Eponine. Okay, back to books. We're going to ignore that book because no. The Love of a Lifetime by Mary Fitzgerald. I don't remember buying this. I think I've been given it. Can love survive the worst betrayal of all? From the moment Elizabeth Nugent arrives to live on Richard Wilde's family's farm in Shropshire, he is in love with her. And as they grow up, it seems like nothing can keep them apart. But as the Second World War rages, Richard is sent to fight in the jungles of Burma, leaving Elizabeth to deal with a terrible secret that could destroy his family. Despite the distance between them, Richard and Elizabeth's love remains constant through war, tragedy and betrayal. But once the fighting is over, will the secrets and lies that Elizabeth has been hiding keep them apart forever? Sounds pretty good. That is The Love of a Lifetime by Mary Fitzgerald. I don't know where that book came from though. I don't remember buying it. I also don't remember being given it though. So, bizarre. I do remember buying this one though. And I think I bought a slightly not faulty, but like odd version because I don't know if you can see that. But the pages here and the pages here are like smoothly cut, but the pages at the bottom are all like jagged and uneven. So I think, sorry, I just turned the brightness up. So I think I've got one that's like a slightly faulty copy, but I really love that. I've definitely bought this. This is Love Nina, Dispatches from Family Life by Nina Stibb. This is non-fiction, but I believe it probably reads like a novel. Which I think is my favourite kind of non-fiction. In 1982, Nina Stibb, a 20-year-old from Leicester, moved to London to work as a nanny for a very particular family. It was a perfect match. Nina had no idea how to cook, look after children, or who the weirdos who called round were. And the family, busy discussing how to swear in German or the merits or otherwise of turkey mince, were delighted by her lack of skills. Love Nina is a collection of letters she wrote home, gloriously describing her domestic life, the unpredictable house guests, and the cat everyone loved to hate. I remember at the time that I bought this was a very talked about book. And I think the thing that clinched it for me was the quote by Nick Hornby on the front that said, I adored this book, I could quote from it forever. And I love Nick Hornby. About a Boy and Juliet Naked are two incredible books. So I sort of trusted Nick Hornby's opinion on this. Someone just asked me how I plan to organise my books, and I was thinking about this the other day. I don't want to do it by colour because I personally don't like how that looks. But I know organising them by alphabetical order, by authors' surnames is how I do it. I don't do authors' first names, I do authors' surnames, like a register in a school. Oh, Lorna and Stitch, you're so sweet. Wow, you must be boring. Half the people have left. Oh, you're so lovely. You're so sweet. Bye. See ya. What was I saying? I can't even remember. Rude, Lorna, interrupting my flow. God, if you're bored, leave. Jesus. I haven't read it. Excited to read it. There we go. Let's answer a question. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I was talking about how I'm going to organise the books. Book organisation. Thank you, Paper Bookmarks, for reminding me. You're very sweet. Alphabetical order just takes so long. It takes so long, and I know it will literally take me like a good 48 to 72 hours to figure everything out and actually get them all how I want them. And I mean, currently they're all in boxes and there's like 25 boxes. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So when it comes to it, I'll freak out about it then. But right now they're all in boxes and I'm just gonna enjoy them being contained and there. Sorry, I got a bit of sellotape stuck to my foot. Questions. Just to let you know, the questions that I'm going through are on, if you go out of the live and go into the story, the last story that I posted, ask questions there because they come up as stickers and then I can get them on the screen and it's like a really fancy feature. So let's do that. Do you give books to charity when you've read them? I am a hoarder when it comes to books. It's the only thing I collect. When I was younger, I used to collect teddy bears and stamps. And then all of a sudden I realised that what I have the most of in my life is books. I have literally hundreds of books. I must have about, oh God, I don't know, 300 to 500 books, somewhere in between. Let's just say 400 to give you a rough estimate. I have a lot of books and in all honesty, they are my pride and joy. I love them so much and I can't part with them. I will happily part with clothes, shoes, jewellery, teddy bears now. I've literally just given away loads and loads and loads of my childhood toys because there's no point in me keeping them. I think my mum has kept a lot of them because she gets more nostalgia out of them than I do. But I'll honestly give away so much stuff, but my books are the one thing, they're like the one thing that I let myself have because I get so much joy from being surrounded by books. So no, I don't often give books to charity, but I do give a lot of other stuff to charity, so I balance it out, guys. Let's do one more question. This is an odd question to pick, but what are your and Oliver's nicknames for each other and why? We call each other Pumpkin, and it came from when we used to be on stage in the Addams Family. And there was a part in the show, in the final scene in Move Towards the Darkness, where we'd be either side of from, say, you're the audience. I'd be here, he'd be here, and I'd walk around to the back of the stage and I'd join him. And at the point where I joined him, someone else was, it was Fester talking in the centre stage, and so no one was really looking at us. And I come up with a stupid name to call him. It started off with me being like, I can't remember, right? It started off with just stupid nicknames, and I'd always say them in a stupid voice. And then one day I really made him laugh because I went, "Hey, Pumpkin," and I said it in like a stupid voice, and then he laughed his way through the end of the show, and then that ended up sticking. So then every time I walked over to him, I would always say, "Hey, Pumpkin, hi, Pumpkin." I'd always end up saying Pumpkin, like Poomkin, Pumpkin. So then that just became the nickname. He also calls me Toasty, because one day he hugged me and sniffed my hair and apparently it smelled like toast. So ever since then, I've always occasionally been Toasty, but it's mainly Pumpkin. Okay, I'm gonna go back to books now. I can hear him singing downstairs, so maybe he's done. Maybe he's done with the Fortnite, which means I'll blast through the rest of these books. And then I'm watching the Ted Bundy tapes on. All right, Johnny Vickers, I know my face is moony. Got a big old moon face. My moony moon face. That's Johnny Vickers' nickname for me. Moony moon face. This is a book I bought because I got it in the buy one get one half price Waterstones deal. This is Afterworlds by Scott Westerfield because I loved the Uglies series. Thought that was genius. Uglies, Pretties, Extras. Uglies, Pretty Specials Extras. I loved that series. And then he wrote Afterworlds, and then I never read it because I'm a moron. 2 Girls, 2 Worlds, 1 Book. Lizzie should have died in a terrorist attack, but Lizzie is a character in Darcy's first novel, Afterworlds, and death only makes her stronger. Sold to a New York publisher for a huge advance, Afterworlds catapults Darcy into the glittering book world and puts her college plans on hold. Immersed in rewrites, author parties, and book tours, Darcy comes of age as she struggles with the perfect ending to her novel and the intoxicating beginning of first love. Why can't I speak? Darcy writes the words, Lizzie lives them. Kind of like Stranger Than Fiction, which is one of my favourite movies with Will Ferrell. But I really want to read that. Again, quite a chunky book, quite a commitment. It is 599 pages, 600 pages, essentially. Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. Westerfeld, not Westerfield. Apologies, as if he's watching. This is an author who I love so much, Jill Mansell. She's amazing. I love all of her books. This is one I haven't read because I'm just so behind, but this is Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Dexter Yates loves his fun, carefree London... Let me start that again. Dexter Yates loves his fun, carefree London life, but everything changes overnight when his sister dies, leaving him in charge of her 8-month-old daughter, Delphi. Comic strip arty Mollis Hayes lives in the beautiful village of Briarwood. When it comes to relationships, she has a history of choosing all the wrong men. Leaving the city behind, Dex moves to Briarwood, a better place to work on his parenting skills, and he and Molly become neighbours. There is an undeniable connection between them, but if Dexter's going to adapt, he first has a lot to learn about Molly, about other people's secrets, and about himself. I love Jill Mansell's books. This is Don't Want to Miss a Thing. I just love her books so much. Every time I'm looking for like a warm, fuzzy, gorgeous, brilliant, funny, honest book, Jill Mansell is who I turn to. She's amazing. I will always love her. Speaking of brilliant books, oh my god, I was literally looking for that. I was talking about that earlier. Oh, I've been looking for this bookmark. I'm so glad I just found it. It's so nice. It says Carrie was here. And it was given to me by the mother of my first ever boyfriend, Charlie Yang. And it's an Anya Hindmarch bespoke, beautiful leather bookmark. And that's his mum's handwriting. It's like super gorgeous. So I'm really thrilled that I've just found that. Thrilled. Speaking of amazing authors, you're all going to know this book if you follow me and follow my family. This is The One That I Want by Giovanna Fletcher, who is my sister-in-law. This is a proof copy because Giovanna very kindly gave me one. Oh, and she signed it as well. She wrote a nice little thing. Oh, hilarious. This is to Carrie, Debbie and Bob. So I've literally stolen my parents' copy as well. Sorry. Maddie, dressed in white, stands at the back of the church. At the end of the aisle is Rob, the man she's about to marry. Next to Rob is Ben, best man and the best friend any 2 people ever had. And that's the problem. Because if it wasn't Rob waiting for her at the altar, there's a strong chance it would be Ben. Loyal and sensitive Ben has always kept his feelings to himself, but if he turned around and told Maddie she was making a mistake, would she listen? And would he be right? Best friends since childhood, Maddie, Ben and Rob thought their bond was unbreakable, but love changes everything. Maddie has a choice to make, but will she choose wisely? Her heart and the hearts of the 2 best men she knows depend upon it. It's such a good book, and all of the memories, all of the feelings that I had when I read this book have just come flooding back. So it's an amazing book. Highly recommend reading this. The One That I Want by Giovanna Fletcher. It's genius. Let's answer a question. Do you get a lot of books for free as advanced reader copies? Yes, I get sent quite a few books from various different publishing houses, and at the request of some authors that I've become friends with. Usually if you become friends with authors, they're very kind enough to send you copies of their books because they're friends and they want you to read their work, and it's nice, and I do the same thing when my books come out. But yeah, I do get sent quite a lot of books. And a lot of it is because of social media, because I have quite a big following, and obviously publishers want to get the word out about their book. So if there's a chance of someone who has quite a big social media following talking about the book that they've helped edit, then they're going to do it. So yes, I get sent quite a few books via the post, and I need to get better at talking about them, because even if I don't get a chance to read them, I also just want to talk about the fact that I've been sent an advanced reading copy, because publishing houses spend quite a lot of money getting them made up, and it's a real privilege to be sent copies. So whilst I don't necessarily always have the time to read the books, and I don't think anyone would have the time to read the books unless all they did was read, because at the speed I get sent them, I wouldn't be able to read them all. But I need to get better at reading more, because I find it difficult to read whilst I'm writing, because I don't like being influenced by other people's voices. But I do need to get better at reading more proof copies as they get sent in, but also just I need to get better at talking about the books that I get sent, because I don't want people to feel like it's a waste sending me the books, because it costs a lot of money to get them sent out. One more question and then I'll get back to the massive pile of books next to me. It's actually not too bad at the moment, but I'm going to blitz through those. Has Oliver read any of your books? No, he hasn't, and I keep nagging him. I think he's scared he's going to hate them and won't want to tell me. But if I nag him enough, eventually I'll make him read one. Okay, right. This is Reboot by Amy Tintera. I think I bought this myself. I think I bought this. Yeah, because the front of it says, 5 years ago, I died. 178 minutes later, I woke up. And I went, I need to know what that means. 5 years ago, Ren Connolly died. After 178 minutes, she came back as a reboot. Stronger, faster, able to heal, but also less emotional. The longer reboots are under, the less human they are when they return, making Ren 178 the deadliest reboot in the Republic of Texas. Now 17 years old, her favourite part of her job is training new reboots, but her latest newbie is the worst she's ever seen. As a 22, Callum Reyes is practically still human. His reflexes are too slow, he's always asking pesky questions, and his ever-present smile is freaking Ren out, and yet he's still her newbie. When Callum falls short of reboot standards, Ren is told to eliminate him, but the perfect soldier is done taking orders. I remember why I got this now. That sounds ace. Amy Tintera, Reboot. I really want to read that. That sounds really good. City of Bones, The Mortal Instruments, Book 1, Cassandra Clare. This is a really famous book, so I'm not going to go too far into it. I haven't read it, but there is a movie of it. It's a very, very famous book. Very famous book and story. Clary? Already getting things wrong. It's not famous enough for me to know the main character, apparently. I'm going to go with Clary Frey is Seeing Things, Vampires in Brooklyn and Werewolves in Manhattan. Irresistibly drawn to the Shadowhunters, a secret group of warriors dedicated to ridding the earth of demons, Clary encounters the dark side of New York City and the dangers of forbidden love. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I mean, this is one of the most beautiful books, and I'm so gutted that I didn't get to see the show when it was in... I think was it the Old Vic or the Young Vic? One of the Vics in London. I didn't get to see it and I'm gutted because it's beautiful. The monster showed up after midnight, as they do, but it isn't the monster Connor's been expecting. He's been expecting the one from his nightmare, the one he's had nearly every night since his mother started her treatments, and the one with the darkness and the wind and the screaming. This monster is something different though, something ancient, something wild, and it wants the most dangerous thing of all from Connor. It wants the truth. Oh my god, it's so good. So good. I haven't read this. I think I was given this. This is Louis Theroux, The Call of the Weird. I love Louis Theroux. I think he's amazing. For over 10 years, Louis Theroux has been making programs about offbeat characters on the fringes of US society. Now he returns to America and attempts to track down some of the people who have most fascinated him over the years, trying to discover what motivates them, why they believe the things they believe, and what has happened to the assorted dreamers, outlaws, and eccentrics since he last saw them. On a journey that takes him to the porn sets of Los Angeles, among the UFO contactees of Arizona, and up to far northern Idaho for a festive get-together of leading neo-Nazis, he asks what weird people have to tell us about our own secret natures. Has he learned anything about himself by being among them? Do we choose our beliefs, or do our beliefs choose us? I love Louis Theroux. I think he's amazing. I've watched nearly everything he's done, all of his documentaries and everything. I think he's amazing. I haven't read this book, but I definitely want to. Something really interesting I found is that as soon as I start talking about books, the viewership completely plummets. And then as soon as I do this and click on a question and decide that I'm going to answer a question, it suddenly skyrockets, and it's really, really interesting. Dream engagement ring. I'm going to answer that question. Dream engagement ring. I'm not massively fussy because I don't really know. I don't care about cut or size. I don't know. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I really want a princess cut. I don't know what a princess cut is. I don't know what that looks like. I don't understand the differences in cut. I don't get it. But the only thing I ask is that it's green. That's the only thing I want. I want a green emerald engagement ring. I don't want a diamond. There can be diamonds, but I don't want the main stone to be a diamond. I want it to be an emerald because I just want something that isn't your classic diamond. Because I don't think I'd suit that. See what I mean? We're already up by 200 people watching this now that I'm answering questions. I find it so interesting. I find that fascinating. Biggest pet peeve. This is going to be controversial, and I think some of you are going to hate me for this. I am one of those people who likes the toilet roll so that it hangs like that. You know what I mean? I don't like it when it hangs like that. I like it when it hangs like that, underneath. So you grab it from the underneath bit and not from the on top bit. Some of you are going to hate me. I think everyone's going to disappear because I know that that's the way that people don't like it, but that's the way I like it. And I will be one of those annoying people who goes into other people's houses and turns it round because I'm a dick. That's just how I do. Just letting you know. Soz lol. See ya. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that. What's your favourite comfort meal or snack? I have a sweet tooth, but saying that, I really like cheese. Cheese is if I want a snack, I'm bit of brie, bit of camembert, bit of halloumi. Love cheese. I like cheese. But I do have a sweet tooth. I'll always go for a pastry or a cake or something if I'm feeling particularly snacky. I'm starting to get hungry. We need to not talk about this. Let me pick a different question. It's a stupid question to go for when I'm starting to feel hungry. Because the last time I ate was 3, 4. So it's been a little while since I've eaten. What are your reasons upon deleting Twitter from your phone? Good on you. Thank you very much, first of all. For those of you that don't know, I deleted Twitter off of my phone. I didn't delete it overall. I still have Twitter, but I deleted it off of my phone because I found that it's becoming a personal hate button. So I feel like I was just clicking on Twitter to abuse myself, essentially. I felt like every time I clicked on Twitter, I had to put on armour and go, okay. And then I'd have to click it, and I didn't like feeling like that. I don't like feeling like I'm about to go on the one social media platform in which I feel like gives me more more negativity than anything else. I felt like I was losing more from it than I was gaining. And I feel like that's because Twitter is based on people's opinions. Like, every tweet is something that someone's thinking and something that someone's opinion. And so I feel like if I upload a post on Instagram, it's a picture, and it can be something creative or something that has meaning or sentimentality. And so when people comment underneath, they're commenting on the picture. Whereas I feel like on Twitter, they're commenting on me. They're commenting on the person as opposed to what the person's producing. And people can get mean. And so it's suddenly, like, when it becomes personal, Twitter's very personal, basically. Twitter gets personal very, very quickly, and I'm just not enjoying that right now. So I thought I'd just give myself a little bit of a break and just delete it off my phone, because I found that every day I was just clicking on Twitter and being opened up to a barrage of people who were just saying, don't like you, and this is exactly why I don't like you, and I don't think that's good for anyone's mental health. And it's interesting because then when you say something like, you know, I delete negative comments because I personally think I delete negative comments off of my Instagram because I personally think it's the equivalent of someone walking into my living room and hurling abuse at me. You're coming into my space and making it negative. And so I feel like then I have every right to ask you to leave, or to force you to leave, to say, get out of my house, get out of my living room, get out of my comment section. And I don't believe it's censoring anyone, because you're still allowed to say all of that stuff. You're still allowed to go and have those opinions and share those opinions with the world. I just don't particularly want it in my space. And people are then like, oh, you just want to live in an echo chamber of praise. And I'm like, I mean, you're still allowed to say whatever you want to say. Like, you're allowed the freedom to say what you want to say, but I'm also allowed the freedom to choose not to listen to it. That's the freedom of speech. That's the freedom of independence. Like, I have the right not to listen to your bollocks. So that is why I've deleted Twitter off my phone, because I felt like Twitter is the place where I feel like Twitter just has the most negativity. So I like Instagram, I like YouTube. I also feel with YouTube, the most like negativity I get is just like trolling. YouTube is just very like, you're fat and you're ugly and I hate you. And I just go, like, it's so easy just to be like, you're just a troll and you just want to rise. I feel like when negative discussion comes up on Instagram, it comes from a well thought out place. Even though it's negative, I feel like the majority of it is beginnings of discussions as opposed to trolling or trying to be personal for the sake of being personal. I feel that Instagram is like, I like Instagram. I enjoy Instagram because it comes with like a creative, it's based on creativity, I feel. Next book. This is one that I bought in the buy one get one half price thing with the engagements, I think. This is The Interestings by, I'm guessing that's it, yeah, Meg Wolitzer. Again, this is one I haven't read. This is why all the stickers are still on the book. Sorry. Whatever became of the most talented people you once knew? On a warm summer night in 1974, 6 teenagers play at being cool. They smoke pot, drink vodka, share their dreams, and vow always to be interesting. Decades later, aspiring actress Jules has resigned herself to a more practical occupation. Kathy has stopped dancing, Jonah has laid down his guitar, and Goodman has disappeared. I just burped. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Only Ethan and Ash, now married, have remained true to their adolescent dreams and have become shockingly successful too, as the group's fortunes tilt precipitously. Their friendships are put under the ultimate strain of envy and crushing disappointment. Again, I'm like, why have I not read this? And again, as soon as I start talking about books, the viewer count drops by like half. It's amazing. But I'm going to keep talking about this because I really like this. This was a book that I bought called Joy by Jonathan Lee. In a sparkling glass office in London's Square Mile, a place bursting with flirtations, water cooler confrontations, and dangerous amounts of abject boredom, a talented young lawyer, Joy Stevens, falls 40 feet onto a marble floor. In the shadow of this baffling event, the lives of those closest to her begin to collide and change in unexpected ways. That sounds really good, and I don't know, again, why I've not read that. It's annoying me now that I feel like I haven't read so many books. This is one I have read, though. This is Stardust. Oh my god, Stardust by Neil Gaiman. It's one of my favourite books, one of my favourite films. Stardust by Neil Gaiman. At the dawn of the Victorian era, life moves at a leisurely pace in the tiny town of Wall. Young Tristan Thorne has lost his heart to the beautiful Victoria Forrester, but Victoria is as cold and distant as the star she and Tristan see fall from the sky one evening. For the prize of Victoria's hand, Tristram vows to retrieve the star for his beloved. It is an oath that sends the lovelorn swain over the town's ancient wall and into a world that is dangerous and strange beyond imagining. Oh my god. It's so good. Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I highly recommend the book, and also I highly recommend the movie. The movie is unreal. And the cast is insane. This is one I haven't read, but really want to. But I feel like it's one that I need to dedicate time to, because I think it's about time travel. So yeah, this is one I need to dedicate time to. This is How to Safely Live in a Science-Fictional Universe by Charles Yu. Charles Yu was born in Los Angeles. In fact, no, wait, that's not the blurb. Hang on. Is there a blurb? This might not come with a blurb. If it doesn't, I'll be annoyed because... doesn't really come with a blurb. All you get on the back of this is, my name is Charles Yu. I'm a time machine repairman. In 1 minute, I'm going to murder myself. Again. I really need to read this book because it's one of those ones that I know I'm going to love. I know it's going to be amazing, but I need to dedicate time to it because when you get books about time travel, it takes a long time to wrap your head around timelines and characters and figuring out what came where. And so when this is about... it's called How to Live Safely in a Science-Fictional Universe. So it's going to be one of those books that's really, really difficult to get my head around. I don't remember buying... Oh, wait, no. Karen David, she wrote the book about Amsterdam, right? Am I going mad? Wait. Karen David definitely wrote a book about Amsterdam. Or a book that was set in Amsterdam. But I can't remember what it was called. Maybe it's here? No? Okay. But I think I was given it... Oh my god, it's saying 1.36 minutes remaining. Are you kidding? Am I not allowed to be on a live stream for longer? Okay, well then what I'll do is I'll leave those books for next time and I'll answer a question before I go. How does it feel when people call you an inspiration? Absolutely terrifying, and I don't really know how to deal with that. It's obviously flattering and lovely, but it also comes with a huge amount of pressure, so I try not to think about it too much because I will freak out and run away and disappear forever. So that's how I feel. Thank you so much for joining me on this this little thing. Sorry I took so long. 50 seconds remaining. I've got 4 books left, which is slightly annoying, but the time travel book was called How to Live Safely in a Science-Fictional Universe by Charles Yu. I will put this up on my second channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry, Instagram's cutting us off, but so much love and thank you so much for joining me. Bye!